Thank you for joining me again for the Business Booster webinar. This is a continuation of the third in a series of three. Today, the topic is implementing and growing the action plans and the marketing plans that we discussed in the last within this series, the last webinar within this series. So today it's about implementing and growing. So we're going to jump in and discuss the tactics that need to be implemented specifically with the marketing plan. So there are a short list and then there's a long list, and I'm going to talk more about the short list of these tactics. Print advertisements, e-newsletters, online news releases, postcard mailers, and counter cards. All right, so print advertisement. You want to make sure when you implement print ads as part of your marketing strategy that you have results-focused headlines within your print ads. And you want to apply what Acara considers best practices. So other very important elements within your print ad would be always have before and after photographs, good quality before and after photographs. It's very important, if it fits within the ad, to have a photo of your medical director along with a short, brief bio. This gives credibility to your facility, to your medical practice. Keep your blurb copy short. This is about visuals, and oftentimes we'll have a beauty image, a beautiful woman looking very slim if it's a body contouring ad, or a man if you're going after the male market. So print ads can be a very important tactic within any marketing strategy, but they need to be done right, and you need to make sure that you have these important elements that will draw the attention of the reader. E-newsletters. E-newsletters, there's two formats that we use. One is we aggregate your online footprint. So we have maybe 4 or 5 different short blurbs of copy that point to a recent Facebook post, that point to a page on your website, that point to a blog post possibly that's on your website. So it's sort of an aggregation of what we call your online footprint. That's a really good way to keep people informed, educated. They see you as the thought leader within your market. Very important. We also do more traditional retail like e-blasts where we have an advertisement. What's nice about an e-blast versus a print ad, you can make it much longer, have more information, make it more informative, not just have it list out the promotion. You can have the before and afters in there. You can have a larger medical director bio and that type of thing. So you could do e-broadcasts, more newsletter-like, or you can do e-blasts with an ad. Online news releases. This is like magic fairy dust, okay? You put one of these out, if you're doing it right, and you will see your business get posted on over 100 different places. Now, PR Web, which is now called Cision. This is the company that you want to use. They have different levels with these online news releases. You want the highest level. It's somewhere around $360, I believe. That we've tested all levels. The lower levels don't get you the results you want. And $360 is short money to get the level of results, the level of views on your website from the online news release. There's a visibility on the internet that you can achieve with online news releases. Again, it's not inexpensive, but at $360, you'll really see a great return on that investment. Now, some practices are in markets where postcard mailers work well. Another go-to strategy tactic that Acara uses often with the marketing program. Some practices are in markets where they don't work. Let's an extreme example, Manhattan. We would never do postcard mailers in Manhattan. You would never be able to reach your audience, and or it would not work as successfully as more rural or suburban markets. We have a Tucson client that uses postcard mailers as invites, a series of those every time they have a large open house. It works extremely well. So you have to test postcard mailers to see if they work for you. Counter cards. in your location at your point of sale or your check-in, check-out desk, having a counter card that announces your upcoming specials or upcoming events. Very effective. Other tactics. Search engine optimized website. Okay, not only search engine optimized, but also responsive website. You want your website built so that it actually responds down to the size of an iPhone, a handheld device, or a tablet, or your desktop and laptop. Very important, because if you don't have a mobile-friendly site, Google is beginning to mark down the level of optimization. You lose points, so to speak. So you want to make sure, one, your site is responsive. A lot of people have mobile sites and then their regular site. Not so great, because they actually fight each other for optimization, because they both need to get optimized, and the same things are being done on each one of those. Thus, what's ranked first, what's ranked second. So it can harm your optimization. So I highly recommend responsive websites that are optimized on many different levels. They have headers, H1s, H2s, H3s. They have alt tags. They're keyword dense with the appropriate keywords. And use video. It's so critical to help optimize your site. Have it on your YouTube page. Have it embedded onto your website. Really important. Pay-per-click campaigns. These are the campaigns where, when you search keywords, a keyword phrase, wrinkle reduction, Manhattan, okay? What will come up are advertisements that are highlighted in yellow up top and usually along the right side. That's paid search. We find it very effective. And depending on the market, if you're not in, say, Manhattan, you will end up spending anywhere from $1,000, $1,500, I should say, upwards of $5,000. Depends on your market, how competitive it is, and how it's working, because you can track it. You'll know if you have the right conversion set up on your website and on a landing page that the paid ads jump to. You'll know how well it's converting into leads for your team to convert to consultations. Social media. Critical, foundational at this point, aspect to your digital marketing program. This is the way you continue the conversation with your client. When your patient is in having a procedure, you're talking about their vacation, you're talking about the fact that they just had a baby. So you want to continue that conversation, the more informal conversation. You can also keep them updated about what's happening at your practice. Expanded services, new team members. One of the team members had a baby. Somebody went on a fun vacation. People love hearing about these things. Keep it social, and keep it interactive. Ask questions through social media, on Facebook, through contests and fun things that people will stay interested in what you have to say. You want to make sure promotionally you keep it pretty light. It's not really a promotional vehicle unless you're doing things like Facebook ads, which work really well as well. But on your posts, keep it less promotional. YouTube, great way to deliver your message. Videotape what's happening in your office, have it done professionally. That's fantastic. At the very least, have somebody take their handheld device and do some video of procedures, of team members, of testimonials, and post them on your YouTube. Then get them embedded onto your website. Keep it interactive, though. That's critical. One of the things as far as implementation of the plan. So we talked about the marketing plan, but we also developed that action plan. So if any item in the action plan, if you wanted to increase process, or you're going to add a team member, or you wanted to or needed to help boost sales, and thus there's team training, in this phase is when you would actually look at that, conduct the trainings, get outside experts in to do some team training, whether it be clinical training, sales training, customer service training, so important. how to answer the phone, how to capture leads, how to convert consultations into patients. Very, very critical. Talking about sales, this is a must-do section of your action plan. You need to have a dedicated sales consultant. You need to have a system in place. You need to have sales training in place. You need to hold regular educational seminars. It's like a group consultation. Everybody comes in and participates in an educational seminar as a group, get to ask questions as a group, get a past client to do a live testimonial. It can be very effective. Have event-only specials that they must book a consultation within 2 weeks in order to take advantage of those specials. Also, make sure you offer financing. 0% 12-month is what we typically see works best. One aspect of sales that we find people do very poorly are before and after photos. This is your work. You have an opportunity to show people what you do, right? Well, I don't understand why, but 25% of the time when we go into a new practice, they have no before and after photographs. 25% of the time, they have really bad before and after photographs. 25% of the time, they have pretty good ones, very good ones even, but they're very poorly presented. And then only 25% of the time, 1/4, do they have great before and after photographs that are well presented in beautiful binders and or on tablets or on a flat panel in a consultation room. Focus on this. It's the best selling tool you and your team can have. This is not an afterthought. This should be right up front and center as part of your action plan to increase your asset, the before and after assets that you have. Make sure as part of your sales portion of the action plan, you identify those sales targets that we talked about in that first section of this webinar series. One thing that my team insists upon with our clients is a call tracking system. So we have one that we work with, Call Source. They're great. They offer dedicated call tracking phone numbers. So if it's a print ad, it receives its own call tracking number. The website receives its own call tracking number. So we are able to tell where the leads are coming in from. In addition, what's nice about call tracking is it has recordings of the phone calls. So we kind of look at it like track and train, because you can listen in to these calls and then work with your team, or even better, have your team listen to their own calls and see what they've done right and what they've done wrong or where they can improve. Great sales tool. Lastly, in this phase, and really ongoing, you should be communicating to your team. Communication is so critical. Hold bi-weekly meetings with the team, especially your managers and people involved in the sales process. Monthly staff meetings are fine, but for the people involved in the sales process, whether it be lead capture, patient coordinators, people who do the conversions from consultation to patients, meet with them on a bi-weekly basis, review status, determine are we hitting our goals, and if we're not, why, and if we are, let's celebrate. So that's really critical on implementation, to make sure you monitor, so you measure what you need to monitor and then manage to those measurements. Okay, let's sum it up. The 3 phases of a business booster are phase 1, assess and analyze, phase 2, strategize and plan, and phase 3, implement and grow. This is a methodology that Acara has proven over 100 times works. For us, it takes 4 months. It may take a little bit longer for you to do this as a self-implementation. But think of this as a 4 to 6 month type program. That way, you don't get off track and keep yourself moving forward with momentum in helping to boost your business. Thank you for attending this webinar. That wraps up the series of 3 phases that were part of the Business Boosting webinar. Again, thank you to Med Result Network You can go to their website. It's a National Aesthetic Medical Practice Buying Group. It's free to sign up, and you can take advantage of some really great pricing. We have a series of webinars coming up this summer. There are still 6 left. Please go to our website at acarapartners.com, and you can sign up on the webinar tab for any of the future webinars that we'll be holding, or you can listen to the recorded versions. Thank you very much.